I think I'm going to shut it down, Snurdly. I got too many idiotic all over the ballpark comments here. The email. I'm just all over the ballpark idiocy. And Snurdly sees me in here looking frustrated and practically throwing stuff. Anyway, welcome back, folks. Rush Limbaugh, great to have you. The Excellence in Broadcasting Network, the Limbaugh Institute for Advanced Conservative Studies. Telephone number if you want to be on the program, 800-282-2882, and the email address, lrushbaugh@eibnet.com. Pueblo, Colorado. I once remember got in big trouble shortly after this program began back in 1988 because they thought I was making fun of them out there. I thought all Pueblo, Colorado was a post office box. Because at the time, every government agency, if you wanted something from a government agency, you were supposed to send a P.O. box in Pueblo, Colorado to get it. And I found out that actual people lived there. And they were indignant. I had to ban calls from there for a while. They were so mad. That was shortly after we banned calls from Reno simply because people there were stupid. I even wrote that up in the Reno Gazette. Anyway, Obama, in a speech in Pueblo, Colorado, said, and over the next 3 months, you will see more negative ads, more money spent than you've ever seen in your life. I mean, these super PACs, these guys are writing $10 million checks, and they're giving them to Mr. Romney's supporters, and basically, they all have just the same argument. They all say the same thing. They say the economy is bad, and it's Obama's fault. So, this is what they did. Obama's out there now complaining about Romney's super PAC while his own super PAC is calling Romney a murderer. And, of course, the question then arises again, is it working? And a lot of people grab audio soundbite 16. There is this ongoing theory that it's working. I myself, L. Rushbaugh, I fear, have contributed to the mindset that it works because I have said so in various analytical ways all week long, starting out on Monday, and I have noted the number of people writing pieces now on blogs. Oh, yeah, and all this work, and it works well, it's still working, and what do we do to stop it? It's all working. And one of the ways that you can determine whether or not it's working, how many news outlets are reporting that the price of gas has gone up by more than 30 cents in the last month? That the price of gasoline, the average price of gasoline is higher than it was this time last year. How many people are reporting in the news media the retail sales or wholesale sales figures, which are plummeting? In fact, an umbrella question. How many stories are you seeing, period, about the economy? In fact, maybe I have it here near the top. You know, a lot of, well, I'm going to be very, very careful here. A lot of, what's the correct word? What is it? Let's see. Shall we say slow? That's still not right. Just a lot of idiots get their news from Yahoo. So what I thought I would do, I'm going to give you the top 10 news stories on Yahoo today, the headlines. They have this thing that they run from the AP called the 10 Things to Know for Thursday. They did 10 Things to Know for Tuesday, the 10 Things to Know for Wednesday, and so on. And here are today's 10 things to know for Thursday from AP on Yahoo. 1, clashes rage in Alpedo despite regime claims. Where? Aleppo, but still, where is it? I know it's in Syria. I'm saying, do you think the average Yahooite has the slightest idea where Aleppo is? Do you think the average Yahooite knows where Damascus is? Okay, if they don't know where Damascus is, how in the hell are they going to know where Aleppo is? That's number 1. Clashes rage in Aleppo despite regime claims. Number 2, Obama won't wait for Romney's pick to trash possible VP candidates. Number 3, murder trial ends for wife of disgraced Chinese politician. Number 4, news groups head to court for release of data on Colorado shooter. Number 5, why livestock ranchers are at odds with corn farmers. Did you know that, folks? Did you know any? A murder trial ends for that. Number 4, for a wife of a disgraced Chi-Com politician. You live on the AP wire every day. I know you know. I'm asking you to put yourself in the shoes of the average Yahooite, or whatever you call them. Number 6, dry summer is bad news for bears. Number 7, how Japan marked this 10 things to know for Thursday. AP via Yahoo. Number 7, how Japan marks the 67th anniversary of the Nagasaki A-bomb attack. It doesn't. I'm just reading the headlines. I don't know how. Probably a mayor of an American city is over there apologizing. I don't know. When I lived in Sacramento, there was a mayor there named Ann Rudin, and did she go or did she want to go? I don't remember which. But she wanted to go over there and apologize. Number 8, man accused of killing and Hasidic boy expected to plead guilty. Number 9, Japanese women's soccer team hopes to repeat its World Cup victory. And number 10, with Bolt and Blake running, some ask who's going to get the bronze. Right? Number 10, AP, top things to know, who the hell's going to get a bronze medal? Not gold, not silver, but who's going to get the bronze? Number 3, murder trial ends for wife of disgraced Chinese. So in the top 10 things to know at Yahoo via AP, not one thing. Now, admittedly, nothing about Romney either, but not one thing about the U.S. economy. Not one thing about jobs. In fact, this is Thursday, and it's job revision day, and there is a jobs story out today, and the Reuters people story I saw, they try to make it look pretty good. But not even that's being reported because they know it's BS. They're all still focused on Romney killing this guy's wife. So on that basis, just is it working? Is it working? Where are the stories on gasoline prices? What was the Democrat message in 2006? You remember the midterm elections 2006. The message in 2006 was the economy is bad and it's all Bush's fault. What was the Democrat message in 2008? The economy is bad and it's all Bush's fault. In the Quinnipiac poll, and there was a Quinnipiac poll last week. I'll never forget that. You know, these polls come out, and I go to blogs, and I look, I see the most serious, detailed, hand-wringing analysis. Last week's Quinnipiac poll was the one that had a Democrat sample of plus 11. And when that poll came out, of course, it had Obama winning big in 3 important swing states. But then people observed that the sample of that poll was inordinately high with Democrats. So I go to some blogs and I find out, well, wait a minute now, that may not matter. This poll could be right on the money. This poll could be real problems for Romney, because even though the Democrat sample is high, and I got all this esoteric, mind-boggling BS to tell me, and anybody else reading the blog, why we need to be concerned about the Quinnipiac poll. Because, yeah, even though the sample's high, that poll's got some really rotten bad news for Romney in it. I wouldn't start jumping on this poll because the Democrat sample's too. That was the message last week. if you bothered to get into it as I do. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? There's a Quinnipiac poll out. It's got Romney ahead of Obama by 4 points. Really, well, what happened last week? I'm telling you, these guys in these blogs were suicidal. You need steel boundaries to expose yourself to this stuff, because what you're also doing is exposing yourself to everybody's roller coaster emotions. And you have to be able to insulate yourself from being affected by it. Last week, half the Republican conservative blogosphere was ready to throw in the towel because of the Quinnipiac poll. Now we got a new one that has Romney up. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, I've been misinformed. That was a Rasmussen poll that has Romney ahead. Okay, take it all back. Take it all back. It was not the Quinnipiac poll. It's the Rasmussen. Okay, so we're still to be depressed. Take it back. It's okay to go back to being suicidal because the Quinnipiac poll still stands. It's the Rasmussen poll that has Romney, but Rasmussen always has Romney up. Well, you might say that the negative stuff isn't working because the Rasmussen poll has Romney ahead. You might also say that the negative stuff isn't working because even in the polls where Obama's ahead, it's close. It's margin of error close. So you could say that the negative stuff isn't working because if it really were working, Romney would be at 30% in the polls like they were able to get Bush down to. But then when you do that, you're throwing all your eggs in the poll and believing everything the poll says, which is also a dangerous thing to do right now, because the election isn't today. Anyway, let's take a brief time out. We'll come back, and we will resume with your calls after this. I'm sorry about this Quinnipiac stuff, folks. I was misinformed on that. We'll be back after. Don't go away.